We all know that most people's criteria is bullshit. My idea of a 9 and your idea of a 9 are different, and I'll tell you why. There's no such thing as a 10. And 9s, the ones that do exist, are on a millionaire's boat in Monaco, hanging around with Arab sheikhs in Dubai. They've got 1.5 or 2 million Instagram followers. You don't find these girls in a shopping mall. There's no quality in day game. The most beautiful girls in the world are not walking around shopping centers in England or in Nebraska or Idaho, or wherever you dorks do your day game. So people go, I picked up a 9 at the mall. There's no 9s in that mall. Fucking moron. I could sit outside that mall for a month and analyze every single chick who walks in there and not see a single 9. And you're telling me every weekend you go find the only 9 in the mall. Do you fuck? She's a 5 and you're desperate.
Okay.
What if she's undiscovered?
So I'm going to tell you right now, like that was one of the first clips I saw of Andrew where I was like, I 100% agree with him. Is like this massive cope that these dudes have that they think they're going to go up to like some girl in Starbucks and she's like a 9 or a 10. I'm like, that girl is not that pretty. So my question for you guys, because we're just going to reiterate this, who here, the last guy that you guys dated, he walked up to you during the daytime at a coffee shop or the mall?
No.
Anybody? Okay, cool. Interesting. So none of you, it was like cold approach day game. Interesting.
I had one, but it was a dad at my kid's school. That was a big. But yeah, it was the worst 2 months of my life and terrible decision. So don't do it if you haven't tried it. Don't.
The last 3 guys you dated, Armani, where did you meet them?
Ooh, okay. One of them slid in my DMs.
Okay.
Right, and
did his Instagram look good?
It did. He was a content creator, but
Okay.
he was weird, and we don't talk anymore. My last relationship actually was 6 years.
Okay.
And we recently broke up last year. And he came up to me while I was working, but I was 17 years old.
Okay, so this is
I don't have a lot.
You don't have a lot of experience. Okay,
no.
got it. Avery.
One was a customer at my work when I was a bartender.
Okay.
Second one I met on Facebook.
Interesting.
And the third one, I walked up to him at work and put my panties in his pocket.
Okay.
Ooh,
What, at work when you were a bartender?
All right.
Okay, Bree. Last 3 guys that you went out with, where did you meet them?
One was through DMs. One was here at Sticky Paws Studio in
Uh-oh.
person.
Oh.
And then another one was from my hometown.
Interesting. Okay. Allie?
My ex-fiance, I met from a mutual friend. The guy I last dated, met on social media. That was a nightmare. Oakland people, no, don't ever do that again. And my current, I actually met at a topless brunch that I was serving out here, and we're great.
Nice. Vicious.
Met through roommates.
Okay.
And the previous one, music.
Mm-hmm.
And music.
When the ones where you guys met them in person, was there a common friend between you two that connected you? You said there was.
Yes.
And you said there was also.
Yes.
Armani, you said no.
No.
With you? Was there a common friend?
They brought me in here to do a podcast, to be like a guest on a
Okay,
podcast.
cool. Well, that's incredible. Now I'm going to try to guess who it is. How long have you and Austin been? Never mind. And you and Chase, how long has that been going on? The last 3 guys you went out with.
Well, I have been married for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So
How'd you meet him?
We went to school together.
High school
Okay.
sweetheart.
I got pregnant in high school, had another baby. Like, after 2 babies, you got to marry me, so.
Got it. Can we get that on a T-shirt? After 2 babies, you have to marry.
After one.
After 2, Lucy.
Oh, the awful guy at the school. So that was actually, I think I might be the only one with the cold. But we had no.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the kids. I don't know. I didn't know his
But
kid,
there's a common factor that caused you guys to be in the same circle.
Yeah, so that happened. And then before that, I spun the block on somebody I already dated in high school. Also, very, very bad mistake. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I was with my daughter's dad for almost 9 years, and we met on some dating app.
Okay, cool. So what I've been asking this question for years. What I used to hear a little bit more was a friend introduced me, or I was connected through someone else.
Now it's online.
And now I still hear it a lot, but I am starting to hear online even more. It's becoming more prevalent, and it's more Instagram than dating apps. Dating apps, sometimes you ladies, if you have an attractive profile on a dating app, you're going to have your pick. There's 6 times as many men as women on these dating apps.
Never been on a dating app.
Right. So that makes sense to me. What I never hear though is like some stranger cold approach me at a fucking nightclub or like this day game.
That Will Smith movie.
And what I'm telling you guys right now is there's billions of dollars being spent by these guys learning these pickup courses, and they're like they don't listen when you just ask women who was the last 5 guys you fucked, and it's never that some dude that they just met at a club. It's never that there's some guy that they met through day game. It is always a person introduced me or we slid in each other's
There's a
DMs.
safety,
Always.
there's
My
a
girlfriend
safety
introduced
issue
us,
here
so.
too
For
that
sure.
you're forgetting, Michael, that men don't fear the way that women fear.
Of course,
Like,
I
if a
totally
guy just
agree.
comes up to me,
I totally
I have
agree.
no idea who you are.
100%.
Right,
Men
that's
don't
true.
have that fear. You know, like you're never worried that a chick's gonna. I mean, you might worry she's crazy, sure, but you're not worried she's gonna kill or rape you most of the time.
Yeah.
We're more feared of rejection than a man is.
Think so?
Oh,
How
absolutely.
so?
I think-
explain.
I think
Explain. Elaborate.
I think a woman to approach a man has more fear than
Oh, the other way. Okay.
Than the
so
other
Sadie
way.
Hawkins
Yeah,
stance.
I agree with you,
Okay.
but most of the time, like women just don't approach men. It's fine. Like they don't
We can
have
just
to.
like look at them, like
I do.
you know, do a little look, and
And
then
they're
Yeah, I mean,
It's
of
that
course,
easy,
Lucy's
yeah.
correct. That's it. Like that's not a. Women don't have to work on a skill set of cold approaching because they don't have approach anxiety. They're just better at cold approach than men are in general. That's
Every
why.
single
That's
man
why having
that
a
I've
girl.
ever been in a serious relationship, I'm the one that approached them.
Really?
Yeah.
Including.
Yep.
Really? How did that work? How did that happen?
I
Explain.
like the panties in the
Put
pocket
my
one.
panties in his
Oh,
pocket.
that's the guy. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
I like that.
But
I
my
hope it's
girlfriend.
him. I hope
but,
that was the guy.
But my girlfriend introduced us.
I see.
There we go. So
it was
again,
actually
one more time.
introduced us in person, all three of us there at the same time.
Yeah.
Did your girlfriend say, "I think you're really gonna like this"?
So you sent the message, yeah.
Was she, or is she
yeah.
just like trying to put you guys in the same fishbowl and
No,
hope things work?
she was like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this really hot guy," and
And you were
then
like,
I was
"Yeah,
like,
yeah."
But honestly, the conversation was all nerdy and sciencey, and it was more intriguing to me than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Are any of you on Tinder or a
Never.
dating app at all right now? You are.
I am, yeah.
Say it. Which one?
I'm on Hinge,
Yeah.
but it sucks, so wouldn't recommend.
I never even knew that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is, ladies, the reason why the dating app thing is only always temporary for women is because you're women. You don't need an app for short-term sexual access. It doesn't make
You're
any
right.
sense. You don't need it. But you go on there believing that there's long-term sexual access, and there is. It's like 1/1000th of the time that actually happens. But in general, women are like doing something in the area of 16,000 swipes for every 10 dates they go on.
Do you think that like?
They're just
Do you
trying
think
to
that
get promotions.
hot women are not on?
Oh, they're on dating apps trying to get you on their OF. Like Allie, I'm sure Allie's on the date. Like, I don't even have to ask.
I
I'm
told
sure
you
Allie's.
that. Remember?
Yeah, no, I've known that
The
forever.
management company
Actually,
makes
that's
you
a great
create a bunch
idea.
of
I can-
profiles.
I can
So
sign
it's
up.
like
Yeah,
you create
for
a
sure. They're on
bunch of
dating apps.
bubbles.
Like, guys, you just don't understand. You're like, oh man, I do so I crush
But
on
it's not
dating
me.
apps. I'm like, you don't crush, dude. You're talking to a girl who's on OF. You're talking to a short Filipino man who's like managing her account and trying to get you to go out down the tunnel. That's all that's happening. You're not crushing on dating apps, bro. Now, I do have some guy friends who are really good looking and they legitimately do crush on dating apps, but I'm like remarkably good looking guys. They do really well. Like, who clearly stratify top 3% of men. But for the rest of them, they just don't do quite
But
as
are they
well.
serial ones like that? Like they use it, get what they want, and then go on to the next one.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
that's what happens on dating apps.
So
Smash and pass.
there's only
Again,
one
I don't
person
know.
on this table who's online, and you say Hinge sucks, right? So
Yeah. I know.
how would you
everyone
like?
It's Vegas, babe.
Like, because okay, so you're on an app. I have to pick on you because you're the only one that's on an
Yeah,
app.
it's
Okay,
fine.
but so you're on an app. Would you? And you say it sucks. How would you like to be approached? How would you like a guy? Like, what scenario do you see? Like, where you go, you know what? I think I'll date this guy.
You know what? It has to be respectful and romantic. I'm that type of girl. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like really big on. I know it's 1 in a million chance, but like I'm really a fairy tale girl. Like I be in my head all the time. Like that's just what I think.
I'm like that.
I think someone's just gonna come and just like I'm gonna bump into them like at a cafe or while I'm doing
Cafe
some like
in Paris.
literally, or like I'm just out and I'm in a rush somewhere and then I just
In my
boom,
castle.
I meet the love of my life and we just lock eyes and like we run off into the
That's
sunset
exactly
together.
how it's gonna happen.
Literally. I'm convinced myself that.
It is.
It's like, do you believe in love at first sight, or do you need me to walk in again?
Yeah, you're gonna
Right.
die alone.
I would suggest instead of dating apps, you should just come to some of the charity events we
Oh,
throw.
100%.
You meet way more
Probably.
way more dudes.
100%.
I'm rarely on the dating apps. I just go because I'm bored. Like
Yeah, for sure.
I don't do the dating
Yeah,
apps.
come to
I've had
Babes.
some horror stories.
That's
Okay.
a great event.
You should also date podcast hosts. That's apparently Bree.
That works.
Found that.
No, actually don't.
I think
Do
I'm
not.
okay.
She's like, don't.
What was the show about?
Michael, I'm not telling you.
I'm so guy. I've got to look this up.
Was it
now.
about sports?
Everybody's gonna be called into his office and like.
That's so
literally,
crazy,
like, the
man. I just
Spanish
can't believe
Inquisition.
that you and Travis have been doing that. That's so nice.
George Carmona.
I can't believe George Carmona and you
No,
would do that.
He has a girlfriend.
We're just gonna hit up every
Was
single.
it you, Michael? Was
Huh?
it you?
No, let me tell you something. All of you would be dead right now. It would just
No,
be you.
Michael,
She'd
you
come in
would
there
be
with that Arkansas razor blade, and she
She's
would
coming
kill
with that
all of
fucking
us.
machete.
They don't call them Razorbacks for nothing, bro.
Triangle